talking about the history of roller coasters. But because of time, I'm going to be leaving a lot out and only be talking about the huge milestones in the coaster world. The first companies to create roller coasters used the tracks from old coal mines and charged people 50 cents to ride the mine cars down the tracks. These developed into wooden coasters that had a golden age in the 1900s that ended with the Great Depression. The second golden age of coasters began in 1972 when the Racer opened at Kings Island in Ohio. The Racer was an out-and-back wooden racing roller coaster, which means two trains run parallel along the track. In 1976, Six Flags Magic Mountain introduced one of the biggest breakthroughs in coaster design in years, and they called it the Revolution. The Revolution is the world's first modern looping coaster. It only has one inversion and is not incredibly tall or fast. However, at the time, it was one of the most crazy roller coasters ever built, if not the most crazy roller coaster ever built. And it was called the Revolution for 3 reasons. 1, it opened on the 200th anniversary of the American Revolution. 2, because of the revolution of the track and loop. And 3, because it was a revolutionary roller coaster. In 1989, Cedar Point in Ohio created Magnum XL 200. This was the world's first hypercoaster, which means it is over 200 feet tall, has no inversions, and has a lift hill instead of a launch. When it first opened, Magnum XL 200 was the tallest coaster at 500 feet and the fastest coaster at 72 miles per hour. In 1992, the first ever inverted roller coaster was patented. An inverted roller coaster means that riders hang below the track with their feet dangling in midair. The first one of these models was sold to Six Flags Great America and was named Batman the Ride. It went upside down 5 times, went 50 miles per hour, and had a first drop of 95 feet. In 1996, Kings Island and Kings Dominion created Flight of Fear. It was the world's first ever coaster to use a linear induction motor to launch the train out of the station. The concept of a linear induction motor is that it uses electromagnets to propel the train. Flight of Fear in specific reaches a top speed of 54 miles per hour in just 4 seconds. In 2000, Cedar Point introduced Millennium Force. It was the world's first giga coaster, which means it was over 300 feet tall, had no inversions, and didn't have a launch, but was carried up the track by a lift hill. This was also the tallest and fastest in the world, at 310 feet tall and 93 miles per hour. It was Magnum XL 200 all over again. In 2002, Six Flags Magic Mountain again made another revolutionary roller coaster that is still to this day considered the park's best roller coaster, and they called it X. It was the world's first 4th dimension roller coaster. What that means is that you sit in seats that are outside the track, and while you are traveling through the coaster's course, the seats allow you to tumble independently upside down no matter what the track is doing. No one believed this could actually work until it was designed by Alan Shockey and is now one of the most popular roller coasters ever made. Also built in 2002 was Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. This was the world's first ever hydraulic launch coaster, which basically means they use hydraulic motors to spin a rope that is attached to one end to a car and the other end to the train. While the rope is spinning, the train launches out of the station from 0 to 82 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds. After that, the train goes straight up 200 feet, then straight down 200 feet, does 2 turns, and the ride is over in less than 30 seconds. In 2003, Cedar Point yet again made the world's tallest and fastest coaster. It was Top Thrill Dragster. This ride launches you hydraulically from 0 to 120 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds before sending you straight up 400 feet and then straight down 400 feet. And then the ride is over. After those years, extreme new ride engineering took a break until, in 2010, Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi, just across the world, introduced, dun dun dun, Formula Rossa. This was the world's fastest roller coaster and still is to this day. This ride uses a hydraulic launch and blasts you from 0 to 149 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds. The rest of this ride goes over large hills and wide turns. Also built in 2010 was Intimidator 305 at Kings Dominion in Virginia. This was another Giga coaster that goes 90 miles per hour and is 305 feet tall. This roller coaster broke no world records, however, it may be the most intense coaster ever built. When it first opened, it went 94 miles per hour, and the first turn of the drop created 6 times the force of gravity for 5 whole seconds. This was too intense for almost everybody. A lot of people lost consciousness at the bottom of the first drop, and the people that didn't had their vision lose color and get all spotty and blurry. They first tried some renovations that made the ride too slow and boring. Eventually, they ended up widening the first turn, which reduced the intensity to just 5 Gs, which did not cause people to lose consciousness. However, some people still report graying out. So although it had problems starting out, this is now widely considered to be one of the best roller coasters ever built. So that shows you that to this day, people have still been making some of the craziest, most intense coasters ever built.